Hey beautiful people, welcome back to another Vinyasa practice. This is my first class back after being away for 6 weeks in Mexico and Guatemala and the US. It was an amazing time overseas and I'm really happy to be home and to be able to film classes for you guys. Today's practice, speaking of, is going to be hopefully relatively short. We are going to be practicing our Adho Mukha Vrksasana, which is our downward facing tree, or otherwise known as handstands, or as well as our Bakasanas, our crow pose. A lot of you guys have been requesting these, so hopefully you have fun. Oh, one more thing before we start practicing. On July the 1st, in a couple of weeks, the current movement, will be launching our Patreon account. And if you wanted to support me along this journey of creating content for you guys, this is an avenue that you will be able to go down. I'll give a couple more details closer to the time in the longer videos where I can talk about it more, but this is a way that you can financially support me as well as receiving a couple of exclusive benefits as well. Anyway, let's get into it. We're gonna start in a Bakasana on our mat if you have one. Let's get settled in. Let's take the knees wide, bring the big toes together, and then send the hips back over the heels. Alternatively, you could bring the knees in. We're not going to stay here for too long. Between maybe about 8 and 10 deep breaths. But just using this moment as a transition into our practice. A way to gauge our body and how it's feeling today, as well as gauging all the different layers of ourselves. And it's really important that we take this time. Yoga is a practice of intention. So the more that we can listen in and turn inwards and really see where we are at, the better we can adjust, the better we can provide the things that we need for ourselves right in this moment. Can we start to breathe in a little bit deeper? Maybe into the diaphragm, into the ribs, into the chest. And it's this breath that will allow us to anchor ourselves into this present moment as we flow through a mostly asana-filled practice. It will also help us get deeper into our asanas. It will allow us to find concentration, which will allow us to find strength in moments of discomfort, allow us to find ease as well as effort, and finding the balance between those two. And let's try 2 more deep breaths. Maybe even finding your Ujjayi pranayama, so the constriction of your back of your throat. As much as we can, we try to carry that with us in our practice. Maybe a sigh out of the mouth if that feels good. Oh, it feels good to be here with you guys. When you're ready, let's roll ourselves up into a tabletop position. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. And we'll just take a few circles on our wrists to begin with. Maybe you spread the fingertips wide here. If you're already feeling ready to turn maybe one palm behind you, maybe the other palm behind you, please feel free to. We want to open up the wrists, bring some warmth to the forearms and the shoulders. Maybe you switch directions here. And see if you can spread your fingertips wide here, especially with our Bakasana and our handstand. The wider base of support we have with our hands, the stronger that we'll be. Come back through center. Can you breathe in, drop the belly, lift the eye gaze, lift the tailbone. And then as you exhale, press away from the ground, draw the belly button into the spine. Nice, couple more times in your rounds in your own time. Again, connecting with the breath here, letting that anchor you into your body in this moment. Every day is going to be a little bit different. So can we just see how our body feels right now today? Maybe you make this movement a little bit more fluid. When you're ready, just come back through center. Okay, you can absolutely stay on your knees here. I'm going to provide an option if you want to light up the core a little bit earlier on. If you want to do this, tuck onto the toes, lift the knees just off the ground into a hover. Can you press away strongly from the ground? Dome through the upper back, so you just imagine the shoulder blades sliding apart. Now you can stay here, or if you want the challenge, you could see if you can reach the right hand forward. Big breath in. As you exhale, option here to extend the left leg out long as well. 2 points of contact on the ground. Engage through the core, big breath in, lengthen a little bit more. As you exhale, draw the elbow towards the knee underneath you. Inhale here. And then exhale, reach out. Hold for one more breath. And then hand comes down, knee comes down. And then start to lift your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Vrksasana. Maybe you take the feet back a little bit more to lengthen out your stance here. Oh, 6 weeks of traveling. My goodness, you lose a lot of core strength. That's okay, I'm here with you guys. That was fun. Let's try that one more time. So when you're ready, roll yourself forward. Maybe you stay with the knees touching on the ground. If you want the challenge, see if you can tuck onto the toes, lift the knees off the ground. You can stay here. If you want to, shift the weight into the right hand, extend the left hand out long. I like to have my thumb up here. Big breath in. Exhale, option to extend the right leg as well. Try to keep the left knee towards the ground. Engage the glute. Inhale, extend a little bit further. Exhale, round through the upper back. Pull the elbow and knee together. Inhale here. Exhale, extend out. One more breath. And then place the left hand down, right toes down, send the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Vrksasana. Extend your stance here slightly. Maybe a little pedal out of your feet here, drawing one heel down, drawing the other heel down. Maybe shifting the hips from side to side. Pulling one knee forward, one knee back. Building strength here, as well as exploring our bodies and just where we are. Okay, let's build the head even more. Inhale, sweep the right toes high. Three-legged dog. Try to draw the right hip down slightly. As we exhale, shift forward, right knee taps towards right elbow or tricep when we hold here for a couple of breaths. You can always draw the left knee down here at any point. Hug it up a little bit higher. Back of the left thigh presses up towards the ceiling. One more breath. Can you press away from the ground a little bit more? And then when you're ready, let's step the right foot in between the hands. Plant the left heel down on a 45. Pajvottanasana, pyramid pose. This is quite a lot to begin with, so at any point you want to bring 2 blocks with your hands to give you a bit more height, feel free to. Let's take a couple of breaths here. You can always bend the right knee forward and then back slightly to make this a bit more dynamic. Let's try one more breath. Inhaling to lengthen the spine, exhaling to fold over the leg. Take a little step back with the left foot, but keep the heel planted. Inhale as we reach both hands high, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, can you press the right knee forward? Try to draw the left hip forward as well, so you square off the hips. See if you can reach the hands high, ribs draw in. If you wanted a different option, see if you can flex your palms towards the sky. Imagine like you're pushing the ceiling away here. Extend the arms as long as you can, but keep the shoulders drawing down the spine. Take one more big breath here. Exhaling to ground a little bit deeper. Just bring the hands towards the ground, frame out the front foot. Inhale, sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. As you exhale, option to walk towards the top of the mat, standing split, or you can bend the left knee, look forward, take a little hop to land the left heel down, right toes high. Inhale here. As we exhale, option to walk to a three-legged chaturanga, or you can hop back. Hold here. Right toes are off. Can you push up a little bit more so the shoulders are in line with the elbows? Draw the ribs in. Stay here for 2 more breaths. You can always drop the left knee down whenever you need. When you're ready, lie down on your belly, untuck the left toes. Inhale, baby Bhujangasana. Pull the shoulders back, elbows pull back. And then exhale, press up onto your knees. Tuck onto the toes. Adho Mukha Vrksasana. Take a couple moments here, spread the fingers wide. Press through the knuckles, press through the fingertips. Draw the shoulder blades apart. Are you ready to try it on the other side? Inhale, sweep the left toes high, 3-legged dog. Lengthen the left leg, exhale, roll forward, left knee towards the elbow. Let's hold here for a couple of breaths. Can you pull the left foot up into the glute? It's these long holds, hey, that's super challenging. 2 more breaths. Press away from the ground, create as much space between the mat and your chest here. And when you're ready, step the left foot in between the hands, ground the back heel, Parsvottanasana. Inhaling, maybe lifting and lengthening. Exhaling to fold. Tuck the chin in. Let the crown of the head be heavy here. Again, you can use blocks here if you need. Trying to find length down the back of the hamstrings to help us with our Adho Mukha Vrksasana. 1 more breath. When you're ready, take a little step back with the right foot, but keep the foot grounded. Maybe you walk the front foot out a little bit more. Inhale, bring the arms up high. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Again, if you want the option with the hands, see if you can flex the palms up. Strong push away. Try not to over flare through the ribs. Tuck the ribs in slightly. 1 more breath. Can you ground a little bit deeper? When you're ready, bring the hands towards the ground. Big breath in. Exhale. Sweep the left toes high. 3-legged dog. Option to walk up to the top of the mat or bend your legs, look forward. Big breath in. Sweep the left toes high. And land with the right foot down. Exhale to fold. Inhale, maybe lift a little bit. Exhale, we meet ourselves in a 3-legged chaturanga. You can walk back, you can jump back. Hold here for a couple of breaths. Press firmly through the palms. Tuck the ribs in. Press through the right heel. Maybe lift the chest up a little bit more. 1 more big breath. Use your next breath in Baby Cobra or Adho Mukha Vrksasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or Bakasana at any point. Take a couple of breaths here. We've only got 1 more main flow, and then we're going to have a little bit of play, a little bit of practice time. When you're ready, sweep the right toes high. Big breath in. Exhale, roll forward. This time, right knee to left elbow. So you're twisting your hips slightly. Can you hug it high on the leg? Pull the right foot in as tight as you can. 1 more breath. When you're ready, slide the right foot out. Start to drop the left heel towards the right. Extend the left hand high. Fallen triangle. Option here if you want to lift the right foot off. 1 more breath. When you're ready, press firmly into the outside of the right foot. We're going to start to lift the left foot off. I'm going to take a big step forward towards the top of the mat. Left foot plants down. Send your hands forward towards the top of the mat, even maybe forward more. We're going to try our first handstand hop here. We're going to switch to the legs in the air. So transition the weight into the hands. Switch the legs. Now the right foot is down, left foot is up. And you start to bend the left foot. Open the hips to the side. Left hand comes around the left foot into our Chapasana. Right hand could always come onto fingertips. It could always come onto a block if you have one. If the left hand can't meet, then just pull the left foot in. 1 more breath here. See if you can open the heart space towards the left just a little bit more. Start to transition the chest towards the ground. Can you pull the left knee in towards the nose? So tuck the chin in, and then start to lift up, but try keep the connection in. It's okay if they don't touch. Hug the left knee towards the chest. We're gonna stay about halfway here, so we're not all the way up. Can you reach your hands forward? You can always clasp the hands together and pull. One more breath. Oh my goodness. Start to roll yourself up. Maybe the left peace fingers come around the big toe. Can you lift up all the way? Extend the left leg out. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. You can always have the left hand around the back of the thigh here. One more breath. When you're ready, we're going to tip forward, sweep the left toes high back to our standing splits. We're going to have a practice of maybe about 4 to 6 handstand hops here, switching the legs in the air. So when you're ready, hands about shoulder width, spread the fingertips wide. You're going to kick up and then switch. Then kick up and then switch. As many as you want, really, in the next couple of tries. And then maybe you catch the balance at the top for one. We're all going to finish with the right foot down, so we've got a little bit more time to play. You want to press away from the ground, engage through the core. One more time. Nice. Left foot is up, right foot is down. Big breath in. And then when you exhale your way through a vinyasa, totally up to you how you get there. You can step back, you can jump back. The most important thing is that we're having fun. So you go through your own way. If you wanted to try a Bakasana along the way, maybe a Bakasana jump back, the mat is your guest. We're going to try that all on the other side. Then we're going to have a little play with our Bakasana, and then we're going to slow things down. So this practice is really short and pretty spicy. When you're ready, sweep the left toes high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, roll yourself forward, left knee towards the right elbow. Hold here for a couple of breaths. Keep pressing away from the ground. Hug the belly button in. Ribs draw down. Can you twist a little bit more? Oh my goodness. Big breath in. Exhale, extend the left foot out towards the side. Drop the right heel down. Peel the right hand off. At any point, you can bring the left knee down and just try a modified side plank here. Let's try one more breath. At any point, if you want to lift the left heel off, you're more than welcome to. Look towards the top of the mat. We're going to transition most of our weight into our left foot as we start to pick the right foot up and place it down towards our mat. Hands come forward a little bit more. You're going to lift up the left foot and switch our legs in the air. So right foot is lifted now. See if you can bend the right knee, pull the right foot close towards the glutes. Open the hips wide. Maybe you take the right hand up, clasping around the right foot. If your hand does meet, can you try kick away here? So we're opening through the right hip flexor, the shoulder. Keep the left knee soft. One more breath. Transition the hips back towards the ground. See if you can hug the right knee in the direction of the chest, maybe the nose. Can you pull the right foot in towards the glutes? Lift yourself up about halfway. I'm going to hold here. See if you can reach the hands out in front of you, maybe even clasp them together. Pull the knuckles forward. Hug the belly button in. When you're ready, start to roll yourself up a little bit more. Ooh. Maybe your right fingertips come around your big toe and then start to extend that leg out long, or maybe you keep it bent. Can you draw the right shoulder back, right hip back? Find your breath here. Big breath in. Exhale, start to release the foot. Tip yourself forward, standing split, so the right toes are high. Spread the fingertips wide. We're gonna try those handstand hops again, okay? I take a little step back, come up onto my toes slightly, and then kick up. The most important thing is that you have fun here. It's not meant to be perfect. I'm still trying to find my balance. I'm still trying to find the top, okay? So just have fun with it. What I find a little bit helpful is that if I lift my knuckles off the ground a little bit, the middle of my fingers, so you're pressing firmly through fingertips and through the palm, but you've got a little bit of a claw-like action. I find that a little bit helpful. Let's try about 2 more. Nice. I believe it is the right foot that is lifted this time. Your way back into your downward facing dog. Feel free to play, to move along the way. Take a couple of breaths here. Keep actioning the hands towards the ground. That's going to lift you out of your shoulders. Can you imagine like the back of the thighs is trying to touch towards the back of your mat? To keep the knees slightly soft. When you're ready, maybe we bend our legs, look forward, and take a hop into our Malasana, or you can absolutely step there. So our feet are wide along the mat. Turn the toes out, heels come in, send the hips down. Maybe the hands come through heart center, press the knees out with the elbows. You can always take the hands into fists and roll out your wrists. We're going to have a go with our Bakasana, our crow pose. And what I'm going to offer is that we find multiple places up our elbow. Okay, so I have had feedback from other people that they struggle to find what works for them, the back of the arm. And so the best way that we can find what place works for us is if we try multiple places, okay? So when you're ready, if you wanted to come into your Bakasana, lift yourself up, walk the feet in slightly, spread the fingertips wide again. Let's start with really high up on the arm first. So bend the elbows back slightly. Imagine like the knees are trying to hug in towards the armpits. And then when you're ready, oh, see, that doesn't work for me. You want to shift the weight forward. And then if you feel like you've got a place, maybe you lift one foot up, maybe the other foot up. Now, I find this really challenging. And so you just come back and then slide the knees down a little bit more. You go in your own time, so you don't need to wait for me. And if you are newer to Bakasana, you want to think about lifting up out of your shoulders, bringing the eye gaze just in front of the hands, about a hand's width distance. Lifting the hips slightly, and then you might take one foot off, okay? Maybe that's just you today, finding that knee position. For me, the knee position that works well, or I tend to find the most success in, is like just above the elbow. We'll take about another couple of breaths in whatever position you're in. Keep trying to hug the heels towards the glutes. Keep hugging the elbows towards each other. When you're ready to rest, just come back down. Maybe you shake out the wrists. Of course, this is a shorter practice, so please feel free to take a bit more time to just play. Maybe after this video, you could always pause it right now. Okay, we're gonna start to slow things down quite quickly. So let's stay in our Malasana just for a couple more breaths, maybe even close down the eyes. And just noticing and reflecting on the practice that has just been so far. How it has landed with you in this moment. Noticing where your attention may be. Noticing the quality of your breath right now. Let's try one more breath here and see if you can lift up a little bit more out of the legs. Of course, you can always slide a block underneath your hips at any point if you want a bit more support. We're going to try some twists here. So see if you can drop the right shoulder down so it's on the inside of the right leg. Maybe you extend the right fingertips out and you just press the left leg away slightly. You open the left shoulder back, right shoulder underneath. You can stay here, or you might take the left hand behind to meet towards the right hip. And if that meets, maybe you try and wind the right hand around to meet it as well. If you do find the class, see if you can pull the hands back so you open that left shoulder up. Keep engaging with the left glute to pull the left knee away slightly. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, just switch to the other side. So drop the left shoulder underneath. Extend the left fingertips out. Big breath in, lift up tall. Exhale, maybe you twist a little bit deeper, drawing the right hand into the thigh. Maybe you stay here, or if you feel good, then maybe you take the right hand behind. Left hand might come underneath. Notice if you're holding any tension elsewhere in the body. And then when you're ready, just release the hands towards the ground. Keep the feet wide, but lift up the hips. Soften the knees. You might turn the toes in so they're parallel with the sides of your mat. Can you drop your head here into this Uttanasana? You might even shift the hips from side to side. If you want a different variation, you might try reach the hands behind you, turning the fingertips away. Another variation, you could try bend your legs and shift the shoulders underneath the thighs and use the shoulders as a way to traction the heart back a little bit more because you've got the friction between the thighs and the shoulders. One more breath. And then when you're ready, just rolling yourself out. Bring the hands down, bring the knees down. About hip width distance, tuck onto the toes, lift up the chest. We'll find one counter pose for that, our Ustrasana. Squeeze the glutes here, big breath in, lift up tall. As you exhale, maybe hands come towards the hips, maybe one hand comes down, one hand comes up. If you know you're ready for both hands can come down onto the heels. And if you want a deeper expression, you can bring the tops of the feet on the ground as well. Keep trying to lift up and out of the heart. Two more breaths. If it feels good, maybe you drop the head back. If you're somewhere in between, maybe you just tuck the chin in for the moment. And start to bend the hips back. Let's find a way onto our sit bones. Bring the feet together, knees come wide. Let's finish with the Bakasana. It's one of my favorite asanas. Hands come around, maybe the ankles, maybe the insides of the feet. Big breath in, try to lift up tall here. Exhale, see if you can bend the elbows, pull your heart space towards your feet. Maybe the elbows kiss onto the thighs and you can press them down ever so gently. Let's try one more breath here. When you're ready, just starting to walk yourself up. Reach the arms forward, big breath in, try lift up tall through the spine. As we exhale, can we start to curl through the spine so that the lower back touches down first, and then the mid back, and then the upper back. and we soften down. If there are any other asanas that you would like to finish your practice with, maybe a twist, maybe something else, a halasana may feel quite nice right now, then please feel free to. If you're ready for rest, for Shavasana, then feel free to meet me there. Just closing down the eyes. Our Shavasana being one of the most important parts of our practice. Just as we had a transition in, this is our transition out. It's our time to just bathe in the comings of our practice, the endorphins of moving our body, the connection that we can feel with our breath and the deeper parts of ourselves. See if you can let go of any tension that you might be holding in the face and the rest of the body. And as much as we can, just trying to just be here in the moment for the next minute or so. When we feel ready, maybe we start to breathe a little bit deeper, but also know that you can stay for a little bit longer. And I encourage you to listen in with your body and your mind and your heart. If you know that you're needing rest and time to slow down, then the best thing that we can do is answer that call. If you feel ready to transition out, maybe slowly just wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, make any movements that feel good. We will find our way up into a seat to close out our practice on the mat together. Close down the eyes once you've landed here. Maybe bring a little smile to your face if that's what feels reflected. If not, that's okay. If it feels comfortable, bring the hands to heart center or another position, mudra, that feels right for you. I thank you so much for practicing with me today. It feels really great to be back with you. And if you really enjoyed this class, I would love it if you could maybe share it with one of your friends or comment down below. It would have been so much to, just be and connect with you. And thank you so much. Namaste.